Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teague, whipping like always, the man who hasn't seen Blue Beetle yet, Noah Bailey.
Just don't put me on blast like that.
I will. It's a very good movie. Everyone should see it. Despite what you've maybe heard about it, despite just the current state of DC, the state of movies in general, go see Blue Beetle. It is worth your time. It might not be your favorite superhero movie of all time, but it definitely will not be your worst. But I think it's like I've been compiling like an early list of top favorite things of this year for as far as like comic book movies. It's in the top five already. I'll
Oh
put it there.
wow.
So it's granted a lot of the stuff that's come out this year has not been like super high quality, but it is especially like as far as DC stuff in recent years, like especially if you enjoyed something like Black Adam, which overall was not even that great, you will definitely enjoy this movie. It is like a way bigger step above from Black Adam. So it's yeah, I would recommend it. It definitely deserves to make more money than it is going to make, which is barely breaking even. So, you know, watch it if you can. Okay, moving on to a different Wonder Woman, or sorry, a different DC thing. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 3 is an interesting, had an interesting couple of weeks. So we talked a couple of weeks ago about this rumor, kind of based on an old interview that Gal Gadot had about her maybe having talks with James Gunn about maybe returning in some capacity for Wonder Woman 3. And now that probably isn't happening, maybe, but maybe it will, but probably not. That make any sense?
Also known as we have nothing to. He's like also known
Yeah.
as people have nothing to talk about, so we're just gonna rehash old stuff
Pretty
because why
much,
not?
yeah. Like legitimately, like within a couple of days of that original rumor of Gal Gadot is definitely coming back to play Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman 3, and then quickly changed to she's coming back to executive produce and might star in it. Oh, they're definitely getting someone different. And then even a couple of days later, oh, she's had talks with James Gunn directly about being in it. And then very shortly after, it's like, oh no, she didn't actually do that. She's probably not connected to the project at all. It's like they're not even making Wonder Woman 3 at this point. They're working on other stuff. It's like, yeah, they were right out of stuff to talk about, so they're just talking about fake stuff now. Like, what are you
That's what
doing?
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like you clearly have nothing to talk about, so we're just kind of like it's like when there's nothing to do at work, but you're trying to look busy so your boss doesn't get on. You're
Yep.
trying to just like, oh yeah, I'm just stacking these papers that don't need to be stacked, or
Uh-huh.
I'm just like there's nothing going on here. This is
Like,
not there's no news here.
like I know there's a writer strike and I know the actor strike is still happening, but like so just general news is not there's not as much general news as people generally would like, but you can still there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. There's still a lot of opinion pieces you could make. A lot of just don't just make up rumors that don't mean anything. Like, what are you doing? And
Just
like,
because like
I, at this point, I don't I don't necessarily care one way or the other if Gal Gadot comes back. It would just be weird if she did, but no one else from like the big Justice League team came back. But also, I don't know if I want Patty Jenkins to make it, considering how bad 84 was. That could have been a fluke. Like her other stuff has been pretty good. Like I don't know. I just don't know.
I mean, my thing is they're rebooting everything.
Yes.
So I find it hard to believe that Gal Gadot's coming back because like they're rebooting everything. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of, especially since she's been making like lots of cameos and kind of these last phase movies. I feel like it's like since they don't have a movie to give her a send off, they're just gonna put her in everything. else they can just to kind of give her an informal send up because you know she's
Yeah.
probably gonna show up in Aquaman even though she doesn't need to.
Oh, probably.
But,
Yeah, good point.
right?
Because there's rumor that Batman's going to be in there in some capacity. So yeah, why not Wonder Woman also show up?
That's what I'm saying. It's like just
Yeah,
have a last hurrah.
I'm surprised she didn't randomly show up in Blue Beetle.
Could have happened.
Considering she's just randomly in the Flash, yeah, why not just pop up?
Especially like I know Batman's in it, but like no one else is in it. It's just like, oh yeah, what are the rest is just like, oh, they're all conveniently doing something. Wonder Woman's just chilling though.
Yep.
It's just kind of like okay.
Alfred's like, oh yeah, she just doesn't have a phone, but like clearly Batman's been in touch with her, so she must have some way to communicate with her.
Also, how do you not have a phone? Like what? I mean, like I don't. You're a superhero. We need to be able to contact you.
even like beyond that, she at least half the time pretends to be a regular person. So you think she'd at least have a regular person phone, you know?
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm saying. Like even if it only has like 3 contacts, like come on, like
Yeah, like you'd think Cyborg would make some kind of communication device for all of them.
something.
No, oh well.
Pull out convenience, apparently.
Yet she showed up anyway. Okay.
Right in Gotham.
Yeah.
Because that's so close to where is she, DC?
Yeah, it's like around where New Jersey is, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking. Like it's supposed to be like new. Like I always understood like Metropolis was like New York and Gotham was like New Jersey, so they're like across like a little bit of water, but it's not like
right
far.
But it's also sometimes around where Chicago is. That could just be the first Nolan movie where it was literally set in Chicago.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
Pretty much not next door to DC.
Yeah.
Or not, Washington, DC.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever.
You gotta specify. We're talking about. Yeah. So we'll see. Wait, I'm not going to cover this anymore until James Gunn specifically says one way or the other if a Wonder Woman thing is happening.
I doubt it's happening, but I guess anything's possible.
Yeah. Something that we know is definitely happening. The Percy Jackson show for Disney Plus is premiering on December 20th.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little bittersweet considering, again, the writer and actor strike is currently happening, so you won't be able to get, press of the main trio going around talking about this thing I know they're very passionate about, especially the guys playing Percy. But regardless, that also means considering the actor strike is happening, these kids are gonna grow up, they're in the right age now, but the book series only takes place over like 3-4 years. So if you don't start filming stuff back to back pretty soon, they're gonna look visually, age out of where they should be. So hopefully,
right, you're gonna have to do like a unnecessary time skip to justify anything, probably.
Right, because the second book is the winter solstice right after that summer, and then the next summer solstice next. So, yeah, they should probably get on that. Studios, get on that, please. If not for just this one thing. Like seriously, there was this like sheet where apparently the average of every major studio, just to give into the guild demands, would be 0.18% of their average annual revenue. 0.18% of any given studios.
And they're like, no. 0.18%.
Yep.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That is not a lot.
No, it is not. And you know how much money they're going to lose when they just don't have shows and don't have movies and don't have content to put on their very expensive streaming services? More than 0.18%.
All of it? I was about to say, probably all of it.
Yeah.
Or at least most of it. Yeah.
More than it would cost to pay the writers a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's, of course, it's but if we do this, then we got to pay everybody. It's like, well,
Yep.
yeah, you should pay
Literally,
everybody.
the Netflix CEO literally said on record, why would you say this on record? He literally said, we're afraid that if we give in to their demands, then all the actors in Europe are going to want free wages or going to want fair wages. Like, they should. Totally.
Yeah, I mean yeah, it's like then we'll have to treat everyone fairly. It's like, good.
You're multi-billion, sometimes, with Apple, $1 trillion industry, you're fine. You will be fine to pay them a little more. But regardless, I am still very excited for the Percy Jackson show. This might sound like a weird complaint, but in my head, it's gonna be hard for me to watch the Percy Jackson show in December when it's set during the summer. Does that make sense?
Kind of, but I mean, it is also it is, it's a TV show, so
I know.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
It's set so close to Christmas. You're in that. You have those vibes going, and then it's I know they wouldn't be able to do a thing where they release them literally at the time the books took place. It would have been cool though if the first one was next summer and then season 2 was that winter. And
that same winter.
Yeah, but oh well.
I mean I don't know if they could do it unless they did it the year before and filmed it then, and then by the time it wrapped around. But
oh well.
I mean, I don't think it's super necessary. I kind of see your point though.
But yeah, I don't know if we've ever been told how many episodes it's gonna be. I'm hoping at least 8, just so they have time to do the things they need to do. Because, with all the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus being only 6 episodes was just not nearly enough time to work.
Trying to do so much story in so little time and just kind of not.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. Although their Star Wars stuff is usually 8 episodes, if not 12 with Andor, so hopefully they'll be able to give it the time it needs to be good. Speaking of which, have you seen Ahsoka?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. You saw something. You didn't see that. You didn't see Ninja Turtles.
No, I have seen Ahsoka,
Okay.
or Rebels season 5, as they are
Pretty
calling
much.
it.
Yeah.
Pretty good reason. Which, I mean, thoughts.
I'm enjoying it. As someone who didn't really watch Rebels, there's a couple of names and a couple of things that are just thrown at you that you just have to accept that you either won't know or will look up later.
Yes.
But the action is really good so far. I like the story they're going for so far. I like how the lady who Ahsoka took out in that one episode of Mandalorian in season 2, how she came back. Those 2 mercenary dark Jedi people. They're not Sith, but they're not Jedi.
I like their vibe. I don't know what because it very much does the Jedi Master and Apprentice vibe, but it's also I don't know anything about them, but I'm I want to see I would want to see more than that. I would watch a show of just them. It seems at this moment, so I'm very interested in their dynamic.
Yeah.
But
one thing that me and my roommate both caught on to, it's been very funny watching the show, and obviously it's Star Wars, so Star Wars has a very particular sound to it, but it's been very funny. There's been several scenes where the music sounds nearly identical to previous Star Wars music. The song that plays whenever Ahsoka and Hera are talking, it sounds the melody is very similar to the Leia Han love theme.
Oh, oh.
And when that Morgan, I think it was Morgan, the lady who was
Yeah,
yeah, when
yeah.
her and those do they have a name? They're not Inquisitors either. What are they? Are they just
I don't know. They never really said. I just
yeah?
know they're not Jedi
Okay,
because that's what he said. But
yeah.
like, I don't think they've really like. I guess they're just mercenaries until we get a full like name.
Yeah, okay. The when they're looking at the map, like when that scene is transitioning away, it plays a melody that's very similar to something that plays during I think it's called Battle of the Heroes when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting,
Mm-hmm.
like womp 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 womp. It did
Yeah.
something like that, and like that's uncanny. Like I know Star Wars has a very particular sound to it, but like we're really just basically just remixing songs already in Star Wars. That seems a little lazy, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, it still sounds like Star Wars, which I guess is the main point. But yeah, to your point, it does like it's like it's one thing to be similar, it's another to just kind of like lazily mix it and reserve it.
Now, for the record, this isn't the first time even John Williams has done something like that.
No.
In the Indiana Jones movies, when when Indiana and Marion are talking, their love theme is also very similar, like nearly identical to the Han and Leia love theme. To the point where when it showed up in I didn't notice it when I watched Raiders, but when I saw it Dial of Destiny in theaters, it played that like on loop towards the end because she showed up. I'm like, isn't this just the Leia Han love theme? Am I crazy? And then I went home and I on Twitter like the first thing I saw was was someone like they thought we wouldn't notice, and it was like them next to each other. Like,
Who knows? But they did. Well, no, and like to be fair, a lot of like those like iconic theme music do sound because like so like it's like the Superman like theme kind of sounds like the Indiana Jones theme. If you kind of like
yeah.
it's like you try to hum one and then switch to the other, you can't like wait, does it have that? So it's like even if it's not exactly like a lot of these have the same notes and the same similar like time. So it's like
Yeah, and this isn't even the first time Star Wars has done that. Like, Ray's theme is like kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different themes.
yeah.
Like and like Kylo's is hers backwards or like some weird mess with it, which is cool. I like that dynamic, but it's just very funny knowing that he's not attached to Ahsoka at all, but there's still those motifs going on. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Ray's theme is one of the best things about the sequel trilogy because I do really like
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I do kind of. It's like I mean, like it makes sense that it's kind of a mix with a new ink because it is still Star Wars, but something new has been added, like kind of thing. Like, but yeah, as far as like for the shows, I know for a while they were kind of like we can't use actual Star Wars music. Like, was it Solo? Was like you can't use actual Star Wars music, but you can because it's a Star Wars story. And like Rogue One kind of had that same thing where it's like
Yes.
we can't use the Imperial March really, but we can kind of use it.
But
And
Rogue One had Michael Giorgino, I think that's how you pronounce it,
Yeah.
who is a god at composing. He did Incredibles. He did just the Batman theme. Just every good soundtrack that's not John Williams, Hans Zimmer is probably him.
Yeah.
like so yeah, he was like, I'm not going to be able to play like the usual Star Wars fanfare, but I'm going to remix it slightly so it sounds recognizable, but its own thing, and it's really cool.
Yes. See, that is elite. But like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna get that for every spin-off show and every single. Which I mean, it's fair. And again, I don't think it's to me, it's not distracting. So I think it's okay.
Yeah. 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 Overall, I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying what I've seen of Ahsoka so far, but it's giving similar vibes that like a Mando season 2 did, where it's like I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it as much as I thought I was going to, but
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The two things for me so far is kind of like this is very like you need to see a lot of like you need to know what Rebels to watch, and like, and again, I think that's fair because like you got to do the reading. I always say it, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this doesn't really feel like Ahsoka's show because like most like Ahsoka's in it, but all the stuff happening is kind of Ahsoka more just kind of being around when stuff happens. She's not really doing that much.
Yeah.
And I feel like that needs to be also slight spoilers, but like, why do people keep getting stabbed and not dying?
So,
like, I know she's a main character, but still.
For
like,
the record, she got stabbed like kind of in the belly where I wouldn't really. There's like no vital organs where she got stabbed, so it's.
That.
But why didn't?
Why like you could like just don't write it that she gets stabbed. Just write it that she like gets kicked or like thrown or like anything,
or gets like cut but not stabbed.
like get a cut on her arm. Get like you could like just like I understand like you want to like write around certain things you want to take care of, but it's like just don't let your character get like. I'd rather the character just not get stabbed than get stabbed and recover basically like nothing happened.
Like you can make a TikTok length clip of all the people who've gotten hit by lightsabers and been fine. Darth Maul apparently, Finn in The Force Awakens, Ray, no, what was her name? The sister from Reva, yeah, twice.
Yeah, that one didn't make any sense. I mean, like, and I guess my thing about it too is kind of more like, it's so like it's so easy just to like even the thing with like Finn is more believable because he didn't get like hit in the side or something, like his like brushed on his back or I guess like that's more believable than like stabbed in the gut with a laser sword. I mean, that feels that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like I don't see that. Like I get it's Star Wars, they probably have better medicine, but it's also like, I mean, it's a lightsaber, right?
But like if you just get stabbed, yeah, things might be damaged, but at least it's all there. If you get lightsaber, it's vaporized. Like there's like you got to replace stuff. You know?
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like there's an extra like you just move it back. Like it's just like that's whatever got hit by that is gone.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like and like I understand it was like a clean straight through, but it's also kind of like also if I'm the bad guy, why stop there? Like
they were, I guess, because they were tasked to get the thing and not kill her, so they following objective. I don't know.
Yeah, and I know this is more of a Rebels choice than Ahsoka's show choice, but the whole like Sabine training to be a Jedi thing was already like controversial at the time, as far as I understand. So it's kind of like it feels very like forced, even though it's already been forced. But again, it's Dave's decision. I trust Dave, but it's like, all right, guess we're running with this. But it's like, I don't know. So far, the show felt very predictable.
Right.
Which is why I think I like the whole master and apprentice thing the most, because I don't know what's going on there.
Right.
And that's the only thing so far that doesn't feel like I know exactly how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like I understand that a show, even if the show is literally named after a person, there's going to be other side characters doing things. But whereas something I feel like Andor, like I feel like it, which you haven't seen yet, have you? Okay. Anyway, I keep forgetting you haven't seen that.
I'm behind.
It's literally free.
I know. I'm very bad at watching multiple things at once. I'm very like, I'll be on a show and I feel like I can't watch other things.
No, that's fair.
I finish that show, and it's like, which is bad because when you pick anime, you're stuck there for a while. But it's like,
never pick up One Piece. It's not worth it.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, no. But still, it's just like. But yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, Andor, I feel did a very good job about balancing, like, you know, different characters doing things, but not overshadow Andor or having everything that's happening like connect directly back to him. Whereas in this show, so far it kind of feels like Ahsoka's doing her thing, Hera's doing her thing, Sabine's doing her thing, and like they interact, but like it's not really like feels like something from Clone Wars or Rebels, where it's like, you know, there's a bunch of different characters doing things. Not really one of them is focused on, which is an interesting choice for a show called Ahsoka. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, like again, it's only been 2 episodes in,
Mm.
so there's still time to shape this how it needs to go and how this thing. Like, but yeah, I do feel like it's been less about Ahsoka and more about kind of everybody else, to be
Mm.
honest, at this point. Which I don't like. It is what it is, but it's also like let's hope we don't get another Boba Fett where it's just like, yeah, this is the Boba Fett show starring everyone except Boba
Yep.
Fett. But
Like,
I don't know. I
yeah.
mean, like part of me is just kind of like it's kind of just Star Wars. They're kind of just whatever you got in the pot. That's what we're serving today. But it's also like,
Mm.
I mean, come on. If I order Ahsoka, like I kind of want
Right.
mostly her
Like,
stuff. But
like just like with Obi-Wan. Like I know, like
yeah,
I liked it more or less for what it was. I didn't get most of the hate for that show. There were some things about it I felt didn't live up to the potential of an Obi-Wan show, but it did also kind of have that feeling like why aren't we should be focusing on Obi-Wan a little more than we are.
yeah,
Like these other
like
characters aren't necessary to tell the story. We It's taking
no.
focus away from, you know,
Like
from
I mean,
yeah.
basically, if you have like for example, like an Obi-Wan show, like the focus should be more on if we're talking about other characters, it's how other characters are in Obi-Wan's eyes and how they affect his story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and again, I think that's the thing because like the Reva thing is like by the end of the show, we're telling Reva's story, which is like that's great for her own thing, but like we only got 6 of these episodes, and we're
Yeah.
using 3 of them on a character we don't even
I
like
think.
know about or really care for at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
plus she didn't die. Plus she kind of just the whole Tatooine thing. I still don't understand, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like I don't necessarily think I don't. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she should have died or if she should have just like she didn't really get redeemed in a way I felt made sense either. It's like, oh, she helped Luke when she was the one who scared him away. So it's whatever.
that's what I'm saying. It's like you didn't really do anything. You kind of just talked yourself out of killing a child, which like I guess points, but not really,
Yeah.
because like why would you do that?
Yeah.
But like I don't know. And also like you telling me Darth Vader can't tell she didn't die. I'm like you should be able to feel the Force leaving her body. Like
Right.
isn't that a thing?
Like he totally went back and got her later. Like
Right? Like come on.
like she's not
There's
showing up in any other thing because she's dead. She is dead.
but it's kind of just like you could have just let her like it was one of those like if you're gonna kill this character, kill this character. Don't half kill them and then that's like but I don't know. It is what it is. But again, we're not talking about that show right now. But basically, yeah, I kind of worry about Ahsoka. Like, we're gonna spend more time on again, like, not that they're bad characters, but like Sabine and all these other characters. Where it's like, I get that they're cool characters, but like, when it was a Star Wars Rebels, like it's a different show. That's one thing. But like, when it's the Ahsoka show, it shouldn't be about Ahsoka, more. And I hope we're gonna get more into it and like. I'm really excited for any flashbacks and stuff like that. That's what I really want. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's just kind of like that's what we're here for, man. Like that's what I really want to see. So it's like let's really dive into the Ahsoka stuff. Let's not, maybe like the part where I'm like, oh, Sabine being the apprentice / Padawan again. Like, okay, maybe that'll bring up. Well, how was it with your master? And then like flashbacks, we talk about things. And it's like, okay, see, this is what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then the duality of. Wow, you fiercely follow your master. I remember when I followed my master like that, and he would tell me to do stuff and da 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 da. And all because their relationship, like the like mercenary people, like their relationship is really cool. Clearly, she even has the Padawan braid, which I thought was a really nice touch. And I'm like, this is. I don't know. I kind of want to watch a show of just them. I'm not gonna lie. I like what the vibe they're giving off, and their fighting is cool too. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah.
And that other guy who probably is an Inquisitor with the lightsaber that spins, like
most likely.
Yeah.
But
which it would make sense if there are any Inquisitors left over. I guess they would just kind of have to be mercenaries.
Yeah, it's like what else can you do?
Yeah. There was one line that really cracked me up. There was when that droid was trying to analyze the lightsabers, he was like, "This lightsaber belonged to whatever that older guy's name is," but he disappeared towards the end of the Clone Wars. Like, yeah, I wonder why.
Right? It was kind of
Like, you couldn't just say he was thought dead after Order 66.
well, I mean,
Like that's
yeah, but I mean,
that was the weird way to phrase that. It's like we all know what happened. Why not? Why would you? Towards the end of the Clone Wars, like, yeah, something major happened that would have killed him probably, but he survived somehow. It's another one that's just out there.
I mean, I do like him being in it. I do think his
Yes.
inclusion's really cool, and
Yes.
I like how it was, and like I like how him knowing all the lightsabers helps them track them down. I think that's that's a smart way to track people. Like, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Because like I feel like in a lot of these shows, they're just kind of like, oh, let's just the MacGuffin or some random thing that made no sense that we have until it's convenient and then never use again. I'm like, okay, that one makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, tracking device on spaceships, like, how do they not know that? Like, I don't know. There's got to be like a detector for that at this point. Because I'm like, there's no way they just have no idea.
Yeah,
Like,
you think
really?
at this far into the, and this is a thing with Star Wars in general, but you would think even during the Clone Wars, by the time the Clone Wars happened, they would have developed some kind of technology, just like periodically, like some kind of like EMP pulse that was like, if there's any on here, they're gone now because they just pop up so often.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like I get it, but it was also kind of like even if it was like we can scan for this signature or like some, I don't know, like it just the literal tracking device that you can like throw like Batman is just kind of like really in Star Wars, like.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, that's probably a nitpick if anything. But you know,
I did really like seeing both in this show and in Mandalorian where like just randomly they'll just encounter people who are still loyal to the Empire. Like, yeah, the Empire's only been dead for like 5-6 years, so that makes sense. There's still people who have loyalties.
That's your whole life too. I mean, you're just kind of like, well, you know. And I like too that like, even though you kind of knew they're probably in on it, it wasn't like apparent, like, oh, this guy looks evil. I mean, they just look like regular people not doing anything, and then.
For the Empire.
It's like, oh shoot, like, oh snap, like he just pulled like he just pulled guns, and you're just like, oh crap, it's like that, like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that was really cool. Because he played it so cool.
Or that one guy from Mandalorian who was still a separatist loyalist.
Yeah.
That Christopher Lloyd was great in that show. Weird episode, but he was cool.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I mean. You know, it's just kind of like I think that helps keep the world balanced and realism. I think that's a good point because, like, like it hasn't been that long, and the Empire was ginormous, so it's like. Yeah, people are still going to be loyal after all this time.
Mm-hmm. And like, it makes sense that Hera and Ahsoka would be, a little suspicious of anybody who used to be loyal. It's like,
right.
And the guy's like, I mean, and even his reasoning was like, we just work here. We weren't really loyal to anybody.
Right.
But like, yeah, of course they are.
But that was a good argument because I thought about it. I'm like, well, like, companies get bought out all the time, and now we're this brand and that. And I'm like, hey man, as long as my check still comes on Friday, I don't really care what you call us. Like so I like because like at a lower level, I totally get it. Like, yeah, if you're like one of the higher people, yeah, it's a big. But like if you're just if you're just serving coffee, man, like, hey, I don't care. I don't care what color my uniform is. I'm just trying to get paid. But yeah, it also made like it was a good that could go either way kind of thing. So I thought that was a good part. Yeah, I mean, I think the episodes have been written fairly well as terms of just in general. I think it's more just like the overall direction is one thing I'm a little, I won't want to say nervous, maybe it's slightly hesitant, but I think it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't love how they're apparently premiering at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays. Like, that was weird because I saw it was like, oh, premiering at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. Oh, I get home from work at around 6 o'clock and then I can, have dinner while watching the show. No, it's 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's like, So it's still Wednesday. It's still on Wednesday for me. Okay, sure.
I mean, basically. My thing too is just like, I mean, I get it, but it's also kind of, I just feel like, why don't you just make it a day and just, I don't know. It's hard to do because I guess time zones are different, so it kind of makes sense. But it's like,
But it's but like Star Wars stuff has been Wednesdays forever,
yeah,
and then all of a
right.
sudden we're
It's
doing
early Tuesdays.
Tuesday, but so late that some people are just gonna wait until I don't know.
Well, it's like, I mean, it's kind of like, do you remember how Black Friday shopping has got to basically it's the whole week now?
Yep.
For some reason,
Yep.
it was like it used to be, oh, only at midnight on that Friday, but then
Well, hang on.
Thursday.
First it was like 4 a.m. like when the store opens. That's when it started, and then it was
Right.
like 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, and then it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
all day Thanksgiving also. Oh, now it's actually Wednesday. Oh, fine,
Right.
all the way
That's
back to
basically
previous
the
Friday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
and you're
much.
just like, well, at this point, just make it the Friday before. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's the point of that? But
The whole month at this point. Like, what are we doing?
yeah, it's just, I mean, that'd be kind of cool the whole month. But I mean, like, yeah, it's just kind of like,
Black November. It's like that seems.
but like, no, I mean,
Yeah.
but that basically, but it's like, yeah, I guess it's just like you always like push it, inch it a little closer, but it's just like, I mean, what's really the goal of that? Do you really gain anything from that?
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
eh.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching more episodes.
Mhm.
If they just stay this quality and nail the ending, which seems to be a problem for Disney Plus shows. Like most shows are a decent quality and then the ending is weird. If you could just have a solid ending, even if it's not a cliffhanger, as long as it's satisfying, I'll probably rate the show pretty high. But with every Disney Plus thing, even Mandalorian season 3 had a kind of weird ending. So yeah, I have high enough hopes. Um, Something else I have massively high hopes for. Dune 2 got delayed to next year.
Sadness.
Yeah,
But I get it.
I get it. Well, it's because they want Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet and all the other A tier actors they got to promote it while it's in theaters, but they can't do that
Right.
because they aren't paying them well enough to do it.
I mean, that makes sense. It's like if your movie's gonna make enough money, it's like you need your people to promote it. And if your movie just comes out and no one promotes it, people are probably just gonna
Yeah.
forget about it. And this is one of those movies that's gonna be huge. So
Yeah.
it's like,
And this November was going to be pretty packed. I know Captain Marvel, or sorry, The Marvels. There's like one or two other movies that I think are still coming out in November. Um, so it makes enough. Although arguably, I think if I were to only see one movie in November, I think I would have chosen Dune over because I watched Dune again, the first one last weekend. It is good, long but very good.
that's what I'm saying. Like it was long, but I do remember it. I remember being like, I am into this world. Now give me more. And I
Yes.
feel like that's exactly what this next movie is
Yes.
about. So
And March currently seems relatively safe, and also movies have shown to do pretty well in March before. Captain Marvel, the first one was released in March. The Batman, John Wick, like the movies can do well in March.
yeah.
So
I feel like March is the first big window kind of
yeah,
for the year.
like some movies try to make February, unless you're like Black Panther, it's not really gonna stick.
Yeah, it's really work the same.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm very excited for it. As much as I would have wanted it in November, it'll give me more opportunities to go to a movie theater and actually see that trailer in the theater, because I've actually seen a Dune trailer in theaters, which like is always going to be one of my biggest missed opportunities to have not seen Dune in theaters. I know it was middle of COVID, but it was on HBO, so I just saw it there. But like,
It's pretty epic.
I am
honestly.
watching this thing in theaters. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
no,
the
for
sound,
sure.
the sound design on the ornithopter is so cool. Like, I want to hear the buzzing of that in a theater. It's like, yes.
No, this is definitely a cinema only kind of movie.
Yes, yes. So yeah, March 14th of next year. So I just had to
My
wait.
day.
Oh yeah. Neat. Okay. And last little bit of news I have. Charles Martinet is actually no longer going to be the voice of Mario going forward.
Huh. He
Yeah,
like retired.
it wasn't like it wasn't framed exactly like that, but essentially yes, he's moving into more of a what is it called? Like a brand ambassador type role. He's probably still going to go to events and like
Hmm.
work with Nintendo on promoting Mario stuff, but he's not actually going to be voicing the character.
Interesting. So he's still like advocating for it, but he's not actually doing. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, so I guess it's like semi-retired. I'm not even sure what you would call that. That's a
yeah.
good point.
I imagine it's a thing where yeah, he is 67. That is,
Yeah,
getting and like most voice actors keep voicing characters forever, but I think he just got
or
to
retire.
yeah. If you want to, you can. I mean, if Nintendo will let you, sure. Like
Yeah, especially because Mario. I mean, that's not just. I mean, that's for everything Mario. Bro. That's a lot of stuff.
yeah, yeah. 2D, 3D, Mario Party, Kart, Smash,
Yeah.
tennis, golf, whatever. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, good for him. It's going to be maybe a little jarring seeing other people, try to fill the shoes. People are already speculating when the trailer for Mario Wonder, which is the new 2D one coming out in October. People are like, I don't know if that sounds like Charles Martinet, and people are like, oh, he's just doing a different voice, just trying something else. He's older now, whatever.
Mm,
No, it's apparently someone else. So, and they're doing a pretty good job for people to be like, I'm not sure if that's him. So, if whoever they get nails it and they want to keep doing it, cool.
yeah, I mean, like if it, I mean, if they think it's Nintendo thinks it's good enough to roll with it. By all means, I mean, you eventually you have to replace it anyway,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like you might as well
Mm-hmm.
do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I heard one person who reacted to it. It's like, yeah, it's sad because his voice is iconic, but like every character, if they are to continue, gets replaced. Bugs Bunny,
Right.
Mickey Mouse, like these are some of those iconic characters of all time. Had their actors die or move on, and they had to replace them with someone who sounds pretty good. So I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I'm not too worried about it because it's like they'll get some. Like they're not gonna do this lightly. It's gonna be
yeah.
pretty extensive. So,
Mm.
have they named the new person yet, or is it
No,
still?
no, they haven't. No, I don't think they will in case that person doesn't work out as well as they hope. I think there'll be a couple of years before they like really nail someone down as like this is the new Mario. Yeah,
Okay.
but they're probably like when you get to the credits of Mario Wonder, you'll see like oh that person voiced him, but it won't be like I'm voicing Mario. I don't know if that's gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna do that just yet. Maybe in like a new direct. There's supposed to be usually a Nintendo Direct in September. They might do a thing where Charles Martinet is like, "Hi, thank you for all the years, and like here's my replacement." And they come in like, "Hi, I hope you accept me as I know it won't sound the same. Hopefully you'll accept me for being Mario." Like they might do that. They might just let it ride. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just it's like it's as long as it sounds good, I think everyone should be fine with it. I mean, somebody's gonna complain because
People don't like
that's
change, and I get
living.
it, but
Yeah, like people just like, no, this is existing wrong. But it's like it's Mario, man.
yeah.
Like you gotta have a voice. It'll be fine. It might be a smidge off, but it's probably gonna be pretty close anyway. Unless they have Chris Pratt just do it full time
No.
now.
Oh, heck no. No, like obviously there were memes about that, but no, he is too expensive for Nintendo to keep on. That is not happening.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's the advent of having a voice actor be Mario. You don't have to pay him that much. Whereas Chris Pratt is one of the biggest named actors. He's
Yes.
gonna want a bigger cut.
Yeah, I mean that would never work out.
Yeah.
But
Which do you want to guess what the first ever Mario game Charles Martinet voiced Mario in was?
is it like Super Mario Bros. Like 3 or something? I don't know. Which is it?
It was Mario Teaches Typing back in 1991.
Mario teaches typing.
Yep.
Oh man.
It was like a
I
weird.
remember those typing games. I
Yeah,
had a SpongeBob one growing up.
it was a weird unlicensed Mario game for the PC. And I think,
Unlicensed?
or like it wasn't like made by Nintendo, but like it had,
They like you have our blessing or
I
whatever. Like
guess, yeah, and yeah. That was the first time they got him to voice him in a game, and then they like
interesting.
nailed it down in Mario 64 a couple years later.
That's actually kind of crazy to think
Yeah,
about it because like yeah, that doesn't really. I mean, I guess that counts. Yeah,
yep,
I mean, like yeah, I mean,
yeah. But yeah, like even when you are voicing, one of the most iconic entities of all time, doing anything for over 30 years, maybe he was just ready for something new, and I that's fine.
mm,
Yeah. All right, moving on to the last little thing we're doing. Time for another round of roll call.
heck yeah.
So I have two topics. You have one or two
I've
topics.
got at least one. I can probably come up with two.
Okay. So the name of the game is name as many things in this category that you can think of. So the first topic I have, and I think we've done this one before, but I think it was you asking me, so I'm going to ask you.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Name as many superhero weaknesses that you can.
Ooh, I like this one. Okay, so the obvious one, we've got kryptonites.
Mm-hmm.
There is the color yellow and wood for Green
For
Lantern.
Alan Scott specifically, yeah.
Alan Scott specifically is wood, but yellow's isn't yellow all of them?
Yes.
Technically, the yellow element.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Aquaman is dehydration, I believe.
Yes.
If that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what else? So okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Does Venom or any symbiote count as a superhero, or is that?
We'll count it. Yeah.
Does that count? Okay. So Sonics and Fire for symbiotes. Spider-Man? No, Spider-Man's not. I guess unless. I guess. Why is this so hard? I don't know why this is so hard. This shouldn't be that hard. Like you've read Tower of Battle. You know how this goes. But it's like
just think of the Justice League and be like, okay, what would they do?
Does EMP count for Cyborg? I don't even know if that's.
I don't think that would work.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that counts. That's just kind of life. That's like saying like bankruptcy is Batman's weakness. It doesn't really like.
I don't think that
doesn't really. Yeah, I wouldn't put it on there. Okay. There's other weakness. Okay, what am I? Oh yeah, okay. Martian Inspired. Martian Manhunter Inspired.
Yes,
That's an obvious one. What other weaknesses am I missing? I'm missing so many. I can tell.
They say the Flash.
I did not. Does Flash have like a weakness, or is it just?
I mean, like there's at least one thing that seems to work to slow him down.
Like ice or like liquid nitrogen, I guess. Superman! I guess red sun radiation for Superman was also maybe magic, kind of depending on who's fighting.
I don't like calling that a weakness. It's just a
It's a vulnerability, which is like. But every time they write it, it's like he gets decked by magic, which is
right.
Like, bro, like. Come on now. Let's not act like the little sleight of hand just knocks Superman across a building.
Like to the point where when they did the when they did the Superman versus Goku death battle, it was like, oh, because Goku's stick is a magic stick. Like, no, you can't just. Superman's like, that stick has magic infused. Like, no, it's. I mean, kind of, but like not more than a Kamehameha blast. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, of all the things Goku has, I mean, first of all, Goku hasn't used Power Pole in that was like the first 10 episodes.
Yeah, he's not whipping that out fighting Superman.
No, I mean that's not happening. Plus, he would feel like if Goku found out he had a weakness, he wouldn't even use it because that's not how Goku fights.
Right.
But regardless,
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, okay. What other?
There's one for Wonder Woman that you haven't said.
Wonder Woman has a weakness.
That's very funny. That is very dated, but very funny.
It's something old timey and probably sexist, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my very.
It's not the patriarchy, is it?
No, not really. No.
Oh gosh. Wonder Woman's weakness. I don't know. Can you tell me? I just kind of want to.
So it is a very weird documented fact that the original creator of Wonder Woman, at least the original artist, was a BDSM guy. So, and it's the lasso. But apparently, if she's tied up by her own lasso, she loses her powers.
Is that still?
I don't know. I just know it was at one point.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know if that's still
Shouldn't be.
like.
It should not be. But,
Yeah, I don't know if that's like still a power because I don't like I've seen her like tied up by the lasso,
Yeah.
but I don't think that gives her power. I think it's just not possible to break.
yeah.
That feels like an excuse just to draw Wonder Woman tied
No,
up.
it is. It absolutely was.
Regardless, that's interesting. But
Yeah.
wow. Comic books are so weird, man.
Yeah.
There's some dark times.
They're
Okay.
very old. Marvel doesn't really do this as much, do they?
That's what I was kind of thinking. I'm trying to think of Marvel superheroes like weaknesses, but it's like they have counters, but I don't think they have straight up.
Yeah, like Daredevil. If something's too loud, he can't see it.
Yeah,
but
it's like it's not really a weakness.
Yeah, it doesn't like cripple
it's
into
like
the
that's
floor.
kind of anybody, really, if you think about it. Like,
yeah,
or like I mean, like obviously Magneto's a big counter to Wolverine, but that doesn't mean his weakness is magnetism. That's kind of everybody's weakness. Magneto kind of does that to everybody, but it's like, okay, there's got to be something I'm not thinking of. Is it Aquaman? What about?
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing. What else you got? Are there any big ones I missed?
Not big ones that you missed, as far as I can tell. I'm looking at a list of just specifically Marvel ones, and these are kind of dumb. The Human Torch is overheating. It's like, I don't think so.
How does he overheat, though?
Like,
I mean,
if he gets too hot, the atmosphere will explode or something like that. That doesn't seem like a weakness. It seems
it's not really a weakness.
like
It sounds like you're gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, like Namor is pollution. Like, yeah, everybody. If you eat trash, yeah, you're gonna be.
Well, like global warming is your weakness. Like I don't even.
The Hulk is that he can be forced back into Banner. It's like, but
not really.
I don't know.
Mean, you could like I don't know. When I think of weakness, I think of something that somebody could just find and like use against you. You can't really use like if you use psychology, I kind of could beat anybody used it the right way. So I don't know.
Don't try to say that Spider-Man's weakness is him running out of web fluid. Like that's he has other powers.
That's not. I mean, that's not. I mean, unless we're talking about Raimi, that's not even his power. That's just accessories. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's the same as running out of batarangs or anything else. Plus, it's not like he can't stick to walls if he runs out of webs and half his other powers.
This article is trying to say that Iron Man's weakness is low batteries. I don't.
Yeah, no.
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 He doesn't run on batteries.
That's hilarious. Can you imagine Iron Man running on like some double A's or something? Just like, hey, go on, guys. Before we go fight Thanos, let me just run to the store and just load up or just.
Also, he'll just get another suit. The remote controlled. He'll just have it,
Or just not run out of battery. Yeah. like, come on.
Especially the ones that are right on nanotech. Like, I don't think those need batteries, or they can generate their power somehow. I don't know.
Doubt it. Yeah. I don't know. That's hilarious.
Anyway, yeah, you hit all the major ones I was looking for.
Okay. I feel better because I was like, I'm hitting a wall, but I cannot think of anything. But okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
my turn.
All right, so this one's kind of fun. This is one that kind of came to me. I thought was interesting. Okay. This one's gonna be hard, kind of hard, because like there's a lot to choose from. But I think you'll like this. So, how many animal hybrids from Avatar can you name?
Oh, okay. So I know in the first episode there were these like seal penguins, and they're just called penguins. Yes. They hadn't figured that out yet, but like. Those seal penguin things.
Yeah, they had like four arms instead of two.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Let's see. There is just a bear, but that's not a hybrid.
Yes. I will count Bosco the bear.
Okay. Skunk bear, armadillo bear.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've actually watched Avatar. So it might be kind of hard. Polar bear dog.
Yep.
Is the ferret that's fire ferret? Is that a hybrid or is it just a ferret?
I believe, according to this, it's on the list. I don't know what it's mixed with, but it's
Uh-huh.
on the list. That's what I was kind of thinking too. Because some of these, I'm kind of like, is that a mix or is that just a cool name? But I
Yeah.
mean, it's on here, so.
Oh, that giant like anteater thing that one lady rode. What is that?
Oh
What
yeah,
is
yeah,
that?
yeah. It was the Oh gosh. Oh, it was yeah, like the tracking, the
Yeah,
tracking, and it had the like. Oh, what was
it's like a
like a
venomous tongue.
yeah? What was
What is
that
that?
thing? Like a okay, hold on. I don't even remember. Let me look. What was her name again?
I can't remember.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
It's something cool, like Jade. Is it Jade?
yeah, I think it was Jade. Oh, it's a sure shoe
Sure, sure.
star. It's okay. So it's a star nosed mole mixed with something. It does not
Huh.
say.
It looks
Huh.
kind of like an anteater, but okay,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
okay, um,
But yeah, that's a pretty cool. Yeah,
okay.
I would definitely count that one. That one's
Mm-hmm.
pretty awesome. There's a couple of big ones you haven't named yet.
I'm sure there are. Let's see. It's like those giant moles that top are
Yes.
bending. Okay,
Yeah, it's a badger moles. That's a big one.
badger moles.
Yeah.
Um, oh, uh, whatever Momo is, like the flying
Yeah.
lemur. Um,
Yeah. Lemur monkey. Yeah.
uh,
Or
air
lemur bat or something like that. I think it's lemur
lemur
monkey. I don't know. Lemur bat. Probably lemur bat.
flying lemur bat maybe
Flying lemur
lemur
monkey. I don't
monkey. I don't
know.
know. Yeah,
Some of them they don't say, but you know it's mixed with something. Like
yeah. Like air
yeah.
bison isn't really mixed with anything. It's just a big. It's
Right,
just a
but like bison obviously don't fly, but it doesn't
yeah.
seem mixed with anything either.
uh-huh.
So it's kind of like, eh.
um. Oh, there's a whole. The Tales of
There's
Ba
a
Sing Se. There's like a whole zoo of these things. I remember there's this bunny. I don't remember what it was mixed with, but there was a bunny thing. Um. Oh dear. Um. I know the Fire Nation ride these giant lizards. Those are cool.
mm, yeah, they're like lizard, like a lizard hound thing, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that was. That was something. Those are pretty interesting.
Mm.
There's one also big kind of shows up at the end, a little Deus
Don't
Ex
tell me
Machina.
Dragon. Oh, Lion
No,
King.
no, no.
Lion
There
King.
it
Okay.
is. That was the other big one I
Okay.
was thinking. No, no, dragon's just dragon. There are dragon
It's
hybrids,
just
but
Dragon.
not
Yeah.
like dragons are also just dragons too.
Yeah. The pirates had this like parrot dinosaur thing that flew over whatever that
Yeah,
was.
yeah. It was like a parrot like lizard thing. Like I'm
Yeah.
not even sure what that. It's like some kind. I did like this concept, like just like
Oh
the
yeah.
like hybrid animals, because it was just like it just another thing to make it weird. Because why
Mm,
not?
yeah. Okay. I don't think I could list anymore,
That's
but
what
yeah.
no, that was pretty solid. From not even thinking about it, like that was pretty
Mm.
solid. Like a couple big ones, like notable episodes for like the vulture wasps things or
Oh
whatever.
right.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
desert
Yeah.
was big one. Dragon hawk, like hockey that he had, like hockey South Pole, and it's like
Right.
a apparently that's half dragon, which I didn't really see it. I thought it was just a hawk with a
Ah,
mustache,
yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah.
And that one, and then turtle ducks, with like
Mm.
the little like ducks that had turtle like shells or
Yeah.
whatever. And then I think that was the only other one I could think of. I think yeah, that was pretty much it. But yeah, that was pretty good No, that was pretty good. That wasn't bad. Like, it's these are always fun because it's just like the thing. I'm trying to think of things you know well, but like the little details you probably don't think about.
Yeah, and for having
And it
not
was
watched
good.
it in a while, I think it did pretty
Oh,
good.
that was pretty solid. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even think about polar bear dogs. I'm like, oh yeah, duh, Cora,
Cora,
like
yeah.
obvious one.
Okay. Um, Speaking of things that I think you know pretty well, name
Okay.
as many Kingdom Hearts games that you can.
Oh gosh. Okay. So there's obviously the main three: the first, second, and third. There's Dream Drop Distance,
Mm-hmm.
Birth by Sleep, Recoded slash and then there's Rechain of
Yep.
Memories, and then there's what is it's like what is Aqua's thing? It's like fragment of something. Oh my gosh, I never play. Will has that one. I didn't play that. It's like 0. It's like 2 0. I don't even remember. There's oh gosh, there's so many of these. And then there's I said Dark Last Sleep already. What is the Oh, 358 over
Oh,
2.
there it is. Yeah, I was looking for that one.
There's
Okay.
another big one. I was like, I know I'm missing a big one. Okay, that's the obvious one. What is the one with the like the Keyblade War, the original Keyblade War? It's like, oh jeez. I know. I swear I know it, but I just don't. I don't know. Okay, am I missing? Okay, what else am I missing? I said Rechain of Memory. Mm-hmm.
There's at least one that like you might not necessarily think of, but it technically is more of the story. But if you skip it, it won't really matter.
That's like half of them,
I
to
know,
be
I know, I know, I
honest.
know. It came out.
Let me
It
think.
came out like right before 3.
Oh, is it like? Wait, what? Is it? Are we talking about like the bundles, or are we talking about just like?
It's
Like, is it the story so far thing, or is that the like?
no.
No,
Probably included
I
with
think
that.
I think I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember. Is it the one? Is it the one with Aqua and the what? I don't think you know it. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, you wouldn't. Is it? I think that's the one with Aqua and the Realm of Dark. What is it called? Just tell me. I don't remember.
Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that has that in there. I forgot what it's called, but let me.
Yeah.
I think that's all I can.
Yeah.
What else am I missing?
So you said Recoded. I accepted
Yeah.
Recoded and Coded. Same with Birth by
Yeah.
Sleep, Reach and Memories. The 1.5 and 2.5 remixes.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. There was a weird mobile game called Unchained Union X.
Yeah. I forgot about. Yeah. I didn't care about that. No one ever played that.
The rhythm game Melody of Memory.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that existed.
There's
They
no way
did
you
make
played
that.
it, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like gun to head would never have thought of that.
I could maybe
just,
tell you,
like,
oh, there was probably a rhythm game. I couldn't tell you what it was called.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like I forgot because like
It came out during 2020. No one remembers anything that happened.
yeah, I mean it was like that was after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I was still kind of like
Yeah. There's a couple other mobile games. Like there's one called Dark Road. One called Missing Link. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know about Missing Link. I just straight up missed that one.
Okay.
But
And
the other ones I don't.
Yeah. And then
It's hard because a lot of these are like kind of re-releases, but they have other stuff included. Because like Final Chapter Prologue, like that has Dream Drop Distance in it, and that's what I remember it from.
Right. Okay.
So it's like, oh well, yes, but also like it's like yeah, it's hard, but no, it still technically works. But it's just like, oh yeah, but
And then 4 hasn't come out yet, but that's still.
yeah, that's it for. I mean, yeah, but by the time that comes out, we'll be it's like 40. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, you hit all the ones I was hoping you get, so that you're pretty good.
Yeah, the essentials, essentials, I would say, but it's still not. It's so much story. It's like how much of this can you read? You know how like there's like YouTube videos that like tries to explain the story, and then there's YouTube videos breaking down like if you want more on this part of the story, here's my other YouTube that's also like 30 minutes long, and it's like oh my it's like but like. It's so funny because I'm like, it doesn't take that long to explain it. And then I start explaining, I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't even started talking about the nobodies yet. And you're like, oh my God, I have to go even, you know what I mean? And then you're like, You have to explain, wait, who's this character? Well, he looks like him. Why does he look like him? Well, that's another story because he has the same face. Why? I don't know. They just kind of do. And we just kind of said, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You love it, but you also, like, I understand if you don't like it. It's weird because it's weird. But, oh, man. Okay, I'm trying to think of one more thing. I kind of had one, but I was like, that's not really a good idea. Give me like 2 seconds. Give me a second. I have the, or actually,
You want to like run that one by me to see if it's any good?
yeah, I was okay. So originally I was thinking like SpongeBob running gags, but I'm like, what counts as a running gag versus like just what happens in an episode? Like,
right.
just happens often. You know what I mean? It's like there's a very fine because I like looked it up, and some of them were like, they annoy Squidward. I'm like, that's just every episode. That's not even a running gag. That's just how the show works.
Like,
so it's like,
yeah, like SpongeBob not getting his driver's license. The cop.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
a good one. Yeah, I mean,
hating Squidward more or less. Yeah.
I mean,
not
I guess
really.
that could kind of work, but not really.
There's less than you would think, but just because of the way most episodes are made.
I feel like most of it is just like the show, like how it works. But like the occasional running gag, like, oh, my leg, or like, like can't pass boating school, or like, what's it? Mr. Krabs is cheap, I guess. But I think, is that just him writing the character, or is that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, is that really a running gag, or is that just like most running gags are like only for one episode? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, that one's not good. I might come with some more later, but yeah, like next time I'll come with like more prepared. I apologize. Okay, that's fine.
All right. So, with that, is there anything else you want to bring up or discuss?
I gotta get on my movies. I gotta get to the I gotta get to the theater. I gotta watch my movies. So we gotta talk about them. I'm on it.
Yep. Prioritize Blue Beetle. That one needs it the most.
Fair enough.
Okay. With that, we will see you all next time.
Take care.